When I posted the video about losing my job, I had a lot of people who know me personally reach out to me. Whenever they asked me how I'm doing, my response would be, I'm doing okay. But it's like each time I said this, I got the sense that they wondered, how can you be okay considering what you've been and are going through? Honestly, the only time I cried about the whole thing is when people sent me messages. Otherwise, I really am okay. The day I was told I was getting laid off, I wondered why it was so easy for them to put me on the chopping block. There were 20 of us, and 5 of us were new. And I know some of the new people continued to work for the company. So why me and not the other 4? I immediately realized that no answer to those questions would actually make me happy. So I decided to let the whole thing go. I've had a lot of hard times in my life. I haven't always been the person who handles stress very well. As a result, I developed anxiety. In the last 3 years, I've gotten to know myself better. Being able to identify that I have anxiety was very empowering. I could put a name to this feeling that had crippled me and set me back in a lot of situations in my life. Knowing this made me reflect on my past experiences and how, knowing what I know now, I would have handled them better. So when I got laid off, I realized that it wasn't just about me. The company did what they had to do for their own benefit. Seeing someone else's perspective always helps in letting go of any bitter feelings, because people do what they have to do to make themselves happy, and that sometimes means hurting other people. I have a 3-step process when it comes to dealing with anxiety and stress. Well, it's actually 4 steps, but the 4th step is optional most of the time for me. Step number 1 is to remain calm no matter what. Step number 2, breathe. I'm not referring to normal, everyday kind of breathing. I'm referring to mindful breathing. Box breathing always works best for me. I try to do this almost every day through meditation. In daily life, as soon as I feel anxiety creeping in, I always remind myself to breathe. The way I do this is breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Step number 3 is to think. What am I meant to be learning from this situation? Is there a solution? What are my options? I always think of a way out or a way to ease the situation without being in denial about its existence. Optional step number 4 is to talk to people. I don't always talk to people because I try not to have too many voices or too many opinions in my head, as that sometimes makes me feel like I have to take other people's advice, and that often hinders with my independent thinking and my decision making. But sometimes having someone to just listen and maybe help you in making a decision really does help. After all, humans don't do well in isolation. These things are not mutually exclusive for me. You may need to breathe to stay calm, or you may need to stay calm to breathe. But these 2 things work really well together. And if those 2 things are not happening, then you cannot think. And if you cannot think, then you cannot come up with a solution. So you end up feeling stuck and stressed. Most importantly, I always remind myself that it's not the end of the world. There are people with worse problems out there. And for as long as there's breath in my lungs, there is hope. I just have to continue to show up for myself.